You might be ready for more time in the sun, and as we get into those hot summer days, we actually need to be wary about something: heat stroke. Joining me now, Dr. Elizabeth Mead with Swedish Medical Center. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So what are some of the warning signs of heat stroke?
So heat stroke is kind of the most severe form of heat-related illness, so there may be signs leading up to it, but when the person actually develops heat stroke, their core body temperature gets really high, 105 or higher, and actually people often won't be sweating. So they'll be really red and hot, but they'll have dry skin. That's a sign that something is very wrong.
And what's the difference between that and heat exhaustion?
So heat exhaustion is often thought of as kind of the precursor to heat stroke. So people might feel dizzy, tired, a little bit lightheaded. They might feel really warm, but they'll still be usually sweaty. And in that case, just get them into the shade, cool them off. The other thing that happens when heat stroke actually happens is that the body's thermostat kind of fails to control the temperature. So the temperature of the body just keeps rising and rising.
When do we need to worry about this happening? Because we have hot temperatures around here throughout the summer. When are we needing to be thinking about this risk?
You know, we're pretty lucky in Seattle that it doesn't usually get hot enough to cause heat stroke, but it's really about prolonged exposure to hot temperatures. So it depends how long you're going to be outside. So even if it's only, 90 degrees and you're outside all day long, you can definitely still get heat stroke.
Can there be long-term impacts of this?
There can. I mean, it can lead to seizures and coma even. So if it's not treated immediately, then people can have certainly long-term consequences that can affect their health.
What can we do before we go out in the sun?
Yeah.
Is there anything?
So, I think about when you're going to be out in the sun. It's best if you can avoid that kind of 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. prime sun time, because that will help. So early in the morning, late in the evening, even daily activities like gardening or doing stuff outside, the more you can do it in those cooler times, the better. I think wearing sunscreen is not related to heat stroke, but it's just important to always mention staying in the shade as much as possible and then making sure that you're staying hydrated. So really drinking at least a cup of water every hour that you're going to be outside, and more if you're doing exercise.
I would imagine it's hard for parents too to constantly monitor this in their kids, because oftentimes in the summertime the kids go and play down the street, and so you aren't necessarily aware of, is this a risk factor right now at this moment? How can we?
If it's really hot outside, then we generally would recommend that you limit the time that your kids are outside. So again, they can be outside in the morning, they can be outside in the evening, but then potentially during that middle of the day that you find some indoor activities for them to do.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Dr. Elizabeth Mead with Swedish Medical Center. Thank you.
Thanks.
Really appreciate it.